toddler teachers. Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Come on in. Grab your seats. Hello, hello. I hope everybody had a good couple of hours off. I did, and it went by very fast, but I did. Miss Lucy got her walk. Lord knows she needs her walk. She interrupted stream earlier because she didn't get her walk. So Miss Lucy's got to get her walk. So we have about 15 minutes until the press conference starts. So what we're going to do is I wanted to take a few minutes, and while we're waiting on the press conference to start, a lot of us know kind of, what has been going on with Carlee Russell, or what happened with Carlee Russell. And then there's a lot of us who maybe haven't followed it or haven't seen anything about it. It has been interesting. There are so many rumors, and we don't, you know how I am about rumors, like if it's a rumor, we can, say, hey, I heard this rumor, but I don't like to live in rumors as if they're truth. I like facts. I like data. I like proof. So we have some information on it, and Twitter and TikTok, but who watches it? I don't like TikTok. I don't like TikTok. People will send me like funny TikToks. That stuff's okay, but TikTok is not where you go for information. Let's be clear. TikTok is not where you go for information. I just want to make that TikTok is not where you go for information. I just want to throw that out there one more time. I have seen more, like the few times where I've looked at TikTok about different trials and stuff, I have seen more wrong information on TikTok. And this isn't like wrong, like theories that don't work type of wrong. This is like factually impossible wrong. I mean, somebody sent me one the other day. They were so excited that all the charges were dropped against Melly, and that he was finally at home and happy with his family. Like, stay off. Do not go to TikTok for information. So if you want to go for like funny dog videos, or like they do all the little challenges, where you have to like walk up and pour water on people, or whatever random crap they do these days, whatever them youngsters are doing these days. But do not go to TikTok for information. Or at least if you do, verify it. So having said that, I have had a lot of my friends in like the real life world that know that I'm, that know what I do, and know that I'm so into all of the, investigating stuff, and, all of that kind of like, true crime and, whatever. A lot of them were sending me different things, and some of them were sending me TikToks, and I was like, oh, TikTok is the bane of my existence. So here's the thing about it. They were being nasty on TikTok. I don't like that. We don't know what happens. We don't know what happened. So, I don't want to watch the stream sponsored by TikTok. They are not going to be my corporate sponsor anytime soon. But I like facts. I like to, I like opinions and theories, but I don't like opinions and theories being presented as facts. And that's what bothers me about it. So y'all are also my real life. I just meant my real life as in like, I see them in my eyeballs instead of in my screen, but you are all my real life friends as well. So I have seen a lot of different rumors and stuff. And my thing is, we don't know what happened. I am more than anything glad that she is home safe. But of course, because of the way things went down, we're going to have questions. I am hoping that this kind of clears up some of the questions. I prefer, facts out of the horse's mouth as opposed to out of a 12-year-old on TikTok. So I'm glad to hear what they have to say. I am not a fan. Y'all, when I first started like with, the Murdoch stuff or whatever, and people were asking me to put it on TikTok, I did 2 TikToks, and both of them, got shared a lot and stuff. But then in the comments, like I had people argue me like, I can prove you're wrong. Like I can prove you're wrong. And then I would literally have like the date, like the timestamp of how I knew I wasn't wrong. Um, just craziness. So not a fan. I am, uh, this is why I am kind of interested in this. Uh, this is something I've heard a lot too. I'm concerned how it could affect future kidnappings. The thing is, there was so much information that, uh, like we only had so much information to go with, and social media and everything went into like a frenzy. Even if you look at like the app, like when you pull up like Google Maps or Waze or anything like that, you know how it'll tell you like then when there's increased traffic. There was increased traffic in the area, um because there were so many people that were driving by like to try to look and help or whatever. People were enhancing the video trying to look for clues. There were search parties and prayer groups and all kinds of things. So it was something that, everybody was very worried. So we are, of course, happy that she is home and safe, but obviously there are a lot of questions left. And one of the things is that things don't add up, and that does cause concern with people pouring this much energy into missing people who are whatever, like not really missing or whatever. Her mom had said, I think in one of the things, that she was abducted, but then there was talk about the police released a statement today saying that she had stopped at a restaurant to get food, picked up an order, and then stopped at a Target to get snacks. And when they went to her car to look at everything, that the snacks were gone, and I think they said the food was gone. I think that was one of the things. Look, it would be just like me to get caught over some snacks if I was faking something, but that's just, leave it to the snacks. That's what. All right, let's see. So let's look at, so there's a couple things I want to do before they get started, because they are going to be starting in about 7 or 8 minutes if they're on time, but who knows if they're going to be on time. So this is what they released today. Let's share this. All right, so this is their thing from today. All righty. We have oh, y'all are funny. Okay, we have the investigation into the Carlee Russell case continues as detectives are working to determine what happened from the time prior to her 911 call Thursday night until she returned home on foot Saturday night. So if you didn't hear, what happened is she walked up on foot and returned. It was like 49 hours later. So she walked up and returned on foot. They took her to the hospital, whatever. So now they're trying to find out what happened. Oh man, my internet is doing something weird. I might have to swap my internet. Let me see. I thought I just couldn't connect to it earlier because of something Lucy had done, but I guess they're working on it in my building. I might have to swap. Hold on. See if that's better. All right, so they said that they spoke to her very briefly upon her return home and are waiting for her to be made available to obtain more detailed statement about the sequence of events during that time frame. We are not in a position to reveal all of the information we have gathered at this point. We can talk about some details that we have not previously discussed. Okay, so these are the new things that they released today. After leaving the Colonnade, Carlee went to Target on Highway 280 and purchased some snack type items. These were not located in the vehicle or with her cell phone and wig at the scene of the disappearance. The other thing they released, the Hoover Police Department has not located any evidence of a toddler walking down the interstate, nor did we receive any additional calls about a toddler walking down the interstate, despite numerous vehicles passing through that area as depicted by traffic camera surveillance video. Detectives have obtained surveillance video from her neighborhood, which shows her walking down the sidewalk alone prior to her arrival at her residence. Fire department radio traffic obtained by several media outlets shows that medics were dispatched to her residence on an unresponsive but breathing person. That was the term used in the initial dispatch of the Hoover Fire Department to the residence, and the information about her condition was simply a dispatcher relaying information from what a 911 caller told the emergency communicator. When first responders arrived on the scene, they found Mrs. Russell conscious and speaking, but she was transported in that condition. She was later treated and released from a local hospital. So numerous evidentiary items are still being evaluated, and those items are key in the process of determining exactly what took place in the approximately 49 hours Carlee was missing, but also what took place prior to her disappearance. This release contains all the information the Hoover Police Department is able to provide at this time. We understand there are numerous rumors and misinformation making the rounds in both social media and traditional media. While we understand the public interest in this incident, we must maintain the integrity of this case, et cetera, et cetera. Press conference will take place. Hoover will hold a press conference tomorrow, at which time we will be able to release additional information. So they're supposed to give us additional information today at 2:30. So this is actually their Facebook page, and they're supposed to be going live on this. Let me actually follow and make sure that I'm, so I make sure I have it on. So they're supposed to be going live on there. I also pulled up, while we're waiting,
442
pulled up the
471.
911 call. So this is 911.
71. It's going to be 459 south, mile marker 10. It's going to be a child walking on the 3 or 4-year-old child walking on the side of the interstate next to her. RP's going to be close by in a red Mercedes sedan with the hazards on. Child's going to be a white male wearing a white t-shirt and a diaper.
42 copy from YMCA.
442. RP's advising there's no cars in the area. Looks like the child's been abandoned on the side of the road.
42 copy. The one you still got him on the phone.
Negative, but she's stated that she would stand by for police.
42, call the RP back. She's not at their vehicle.
10-4. CLA, red and color to Carlee Russell out of Birmingham, 10-11.
I'm going to run on 71 as well.
10-4, we're not getting the female to answer.
42, I copy.
10-4, that's the RP. We're trying to call her back. She's not answering.
Out to the interstate as well. Can you give me a description on the child, and were they southbound, walking southbound?
10-4, southbound, walking southbound. It was a toddler, 3 or 4-year-old, wearing a white t-shirt and a diaper. RP arrived in a red Mercedes, unknown what the RP's description is going to be.
Copy. Thank you. 1042. Just be advised, her vehicle is unlocked, running. All her personal belongings except for her phone.
13, if we can we start you into the Atkins trim area and just see if this child might have wandered from a house over there?
34, I'll be around.
Vehicle, the RP had just saw the child walking on the side of the interstate and had gotten out with it when she had disconnected.
We're good up here. You may want to send him to and see if they can make contact with somebody there. See if we can find her.
1045.
If it starts while this is on, I'll swap over, but we're going to listen.
4-4 copy, stay by.
It's got like another minute on it.
Got a call about a female screaming with a child. 10-441. Be advised, the female screaming, line disconnected. Found in black Ford F-150. She was on the phone with her daughter when it occurred.
Incoming personnel, just start 64 in the area. We're good down here.
Let me check and see if we have any air assets available to us.
10-4. Also be advised, we're about to get T-Mobile lifting the phone.
11 to 13, 10, 9, I'm sorry.
Family is where I was right down here. The second updated call that we got in reference. The first call we got was from her. Second call we got was from the family.
Right. I'm just saying that the sister apparently has an open line with that phone still that she called from and can hear vehicles like it's still sitting on the side of the interstate.
So it's like she just dropped the phone
11, you want me to have McGinnis en route with a drone?
while it was still on.
Simple. That would be great. 4.
So those are the dispatch calls. It's interesting. She called her sister-in-law and she called 911. And when she dropped the phone, it was, I'm getting the live pulled up because they're starting it now. It was
All right, good
Is that the
afternoon and
only
welcome to the
video they're
Frank
giving us?
and Pam Bearfield Training Center. I'm Captain Keith Sescaleba, that's spelled KeithCescaleba, with the Hoover Police Department. Joining me at the podium today will be Hoover Mayor Frank Brocato, spelled Brcato, and Hoover Police Chief Nick Durzis, spelled Derzis. You may also hear from Lieutenant Daniel Lowe, spelled Lowe, of the Hoover Police Investigations Division. Mayor Brocato will make a brief opening statement, and then Chief Durzis will read a prepared statement. After Chief's statement is complete, there will be an opportunity to ask a few questions regarding this investigation. Keep in mind that this is still an ongoing investigation, so there may be some questions that we cannot answer. With that, I will turn it over to Mayor Brocato.
Thank you and good afternoon for you all coming today. You know, 6 days ago, our community learned about the disappearance of Carlee Russell, and it sent fear and pandemonium not just through our city, but the entire state and the nation as well. The media quickly joined us to get the word out about Carlee. Our community sprung into action and they organized search parties, arranged prayer vigils, and they took other steps that I'm not even aware of to help in this situation. The Hoover Police Department quickly rallied multiple partner agencies, stopping at nothing to find Carlee. I'd like to take this time to say thank you first to the Hoover Police Department, our partner agencies, our wonderful community, and to all those that aided in some way in connection, arranged prayer situation. And they took other steps that I'm not even aware of to help in this situation. The Hoover Police Department quickly rallied multiple partner agencies, stopping at nothing to find Carlee. I'd I'd like to take this time to say thank you first to the Hoover Police Department, our partner agencies, our wonderful community, and to all those that aided in some way in connection with this situation. As the days have gone on and more information has been shared, we know everyone has questions. The Hoover Police Department is known for being very methodical and thorough with their investigations. For that reason, we did not feel comfortable speaking in detail publicly until now. It is important that we share this information now so that our community can be put at ease. So at this time, I'll turn the microphone over to Hoover Police Chief Nick Dursis. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank everyone for being here today. Besides me stands the team who played a significant role in this investigation. I want to thank our department, members of surrounding local law enforcement agencies, the FBI, Secret Service, United States Marshals, and ALEA for their assistance in this case. We said from the evening of July 13th, our focus would be the safe return of Carlee Russell. That occurred on Saturday, July 15th, approximately 49 hours after she called 911 and disappeared. From that point, our focus has been to determine Carlee's whereabouts during that time and what exactly took place. Let me say up front, this investigation is not over. We're still working this case, and we'll work in this case until we uncover every piece of evidence that helps us account for the 49 hours that Carlee Russell was missing. However, through the public interest, and in some cases, public fear that this story has generated, we owe it to our citizens to tell them the facts that we have uncovered. So I will give you the facts that we know today. On July 13th, at approximately 8:20 p.m., Carlee left work from a business at the Summit. Surveillance video from her place of employment shows Carlee concealed a dark-colored bathrobe, a roll of toilet paper, and other items belonging to the business prior to her departure. She ordered food from Tzatziki's at the Colonnade and traveled there. She then traveled to Target on 280, where she purchased some granola bars and Cheez-Its. From there, she remained in the parking lot at that shopping center until 9:21 p.m. when she drove to I-459. Carlee communicated on her cell phone with individuals known to her while on her path of travel up to the point of calling 911 at 9:34 p.m. And at this time, we will play the 911 call in its entirety.
I like the jacket. It's different.
Walking by themselves. Hold on. Where on Fulton are you? I'm right next to the exit 10 by the Hoover Med, like to get off by the Hoover Med. Okay, so you're before the exit? Yes. Okay, were you headed southbound or northbound? Like towards Tuscaloosa or towards 280? Towards Tuscaloosa. Okay, and was the child on the left or right side? On the right side. Were they walking northbound or southbound? They're walking towards Tuscaloosa. Walking southbound? Or how old do they look? Like a toddler, like maybe like 3 or 4. Did you pull over with them? Or are you still with them? Yes. Okay, are you with the child right now? No, I'm not. I didn't get out of the car. I can see them though. Do you mind staying and keeping an eye on them until we get there? Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, what kind of car are you in? I'm in a red Mercedes-Benz. Is it a sedan or SUV? SUV. I mean, it's a sedan, sorry. Can you put your hazards on for me? Yeah, they're on. Okay. Did you talk to the child at all, or did you say anything to them? No. Okay. No. Do they look like they're injured? No, they don't. Are they white, black, Hispanic, or Asian? They're white. Okay. Is it male or female? I think it's a boy, a little boy. White male? Okay, so is he wearing clothes? Yes. Okay. What is he wearing? It's a white t-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper. And you don't see any cars anywhere? No, no cars anywhere. Okay, all right, what's your name?
My name is Carlee Russell.
And you don't see any injuries on the child from where you're at, correct?
No, but I can't really see them that good.
Okay, try to keep an eye on them for the best you can, because I don't want you to lose track of them.
Okay.
All right, and do they have shoes on?
No,
Shoes?
not that I can see. I can't really see that one.
Okay. All right, I've got them on the way, okay? Just try to keep an eye on them, but officers are on the way, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Carlee called a relative after speaking with the 911 operator. She went missing during that conversation sometime after 9:36 p.m. Traffic camera footage was obtained, which depicted this portion of the incident, and that footage was analyzed as part of the investigation in conjunction with the 911 call and cell phone data to accurately determine the time frame. Carlee's 911 call remains the only report of a child on the interstate, despite numerous vehicles passing through the area at that time. No one has called to report that a child is missing, and the Hoover Police Department did not locate any evidence of a small child walking down the interstate. Data from Carlee's phone, including her Life 360 app, shows that she traveled approximately 600 yards in her vehicle while she was on the phone with 911, stating that she was following a child. 600 yards. That is 6 football fields straight, 600 yards. The Hoover 911 Center received a second call from Carlee's mother stating that a relative was on the phone with her when they heard Carlee scream, and then they had an open phone line. Hoover police officers arrived on the scene within 5 minutes of being dispatched, and several other officers arrived shortly. They located Carlee's wig and cell phone in the grass near the vehicle. Her purse was located in the front seat of her vehicle with her Apple Watch in the purse. The food she ordered for Tzatziki's was also in the car. The items she purchased from Target, as well as the items taken from her place of employment, were not in the vehicle, nor were they located anywhere around the scene. Hoover police deployed all available assets from the point in the search for Carlee. Additional resources were called in to include our own drone unit, crime scene investigators. Numerous detectives responded to the scene. Throughout the day Friday, officers from surrounding local and federal agencies assisted Hoover police in the search for Carlee Russell. Officers returned to the scene on 459 to conduct a thorough line search for evidence. K-9 teams from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department responded to check for any sign of Carlee, the child that she claimed to see, and anything else that could be considered evidence in this case. Those searches all turned up empty. Private citizens, including search parties organized by her family, friends, began looking everywhere that they could to find any trace. These searches took place throughout the day Friday and again on Saturday, yielding nothing. At 10:44 p.m. on July 15th, the Hoover 911 Center receives a call from Carlee's residence stating that she returned home on foot. In subsequent investigations, detectives obtained surveillance footage of Carlee walking down the sidewalk alone prior to her arrival at her residence. She was conscious and speaking with paramedics when she was transported to UAB. Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her prior to being treated and released. During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claims he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler. She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby crying. She told detectives the male had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and then was put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded but was not tied up because the captor said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact. She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair, but could not remember anything else. At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence. During this interview, detectives noted that Carlee had a small injury to her lip, and she claimed that her head was hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash in her right sock. Out of respect for Carlee and her family, detectives did not press for additional information in this interview and made plans to speak with her in detail after giving her time to rest. Detectives continue analyzing data from Carlee's cell phone that was left behind at the scene. We enlisted the help of the United States Secret Service in conducting this analysis. Part of what data includes several internet searches in the days leading up to their disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, "Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?" was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "How to take money from a register without being caught," was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term Birmingham bus station was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted. There were 2 searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at Carlee's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert. There were other searches on Carlee's phone that appeared to shed some light on her mindset, but out of respect for her privacy, we will not be releasing the content of those searches at this time. We've asked to interview Carlee a second time, but have not been granted that request. As you can see, there are many questions left to be answered, but only Carlee can provide those answers. What we can say is that we've been unable to verify most of Carlee's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case. Thank you very much.
With that, we'll open the floor for
It's them searches, y'all.
your hand, and I'll call on you. Carol.
Searches in the phones are what convict people.
Right now, our focus is to determine those 49 hours, so the investigation continues. So to be perfectly honest with you, that hasn't even entered our mind or been discussed. Well, I think the family has stated to us that they didn't think that in her mental state right now, because of trauma of the incident, that she's not ready to talk, is what we've been told.
Oh, that's what they've been told.
You stated that the abductor had orange hair. Is this abductor black male, was it female, black female, white female?
I believe it's a white male. Am I correct by saying that? Was it ever? Yeah, white male.
Is this alleged abductor yet on loose in the Hoover area?
Don't believe so.
Chief Bernie Deon, WBRC, has a toxicology report been done, and were any drugs or illegal substances found in her system?
We have no report of that.
Is any indication of mental illness in this case?
Not that I'm aware of.
There's been a concern in the community that if this were turned out not to be a true story, that the next time a young woman of color was missing, that it might not be taken seriously. How would you respond?
I'd respond to say that we investigate every crime to the fullest, just like we have this one.
Was she traveling with anyone since, excuse me, was she traveling with anyone since the time she disappeared from knowledge?
And not to my knowledge.
Chief, I know you said you were able to verify a lot of aspects of the story. Where do you think she went? How would you characterize what happened?
You know, that's the $100 question. You know, we pretty much know exactly what took place from the time she left work until she got on the 911 call, and we can see getting out of the car on the interstate from that footage, And after that, I think she only knows. We don't know.
One quick follow-up for parents. Did you speak to Carlee's parents? Why do you think it is they were so adamant that there wasn't a doctor?
Yeah, I think parents are believing what their daughter's saying, and we've had a very good rapport with the parents, met with them on several occasions. I've talked to them today a few times, and to make them understand that we're under pressure from our community, not only in our community of the state, but nationally when the story hit. And I just wanted them to understand that today we were going to have a press conference, and what we were going to detail today are facts. And everything that I've told you today is actual facts. It's not innuendos. It's not what I think. It's not what these detectives think. It is the factual information that we have.
My man.
Well, I think our detectives have talked to the parents, and we're ready. We're ready to talk as soon as she's ready. So, she called right now. We're ready. Ooh, how about unknown? We know the facts that we have. Everything else is unknown at this time.
What have the past few days been like for you, your department? This has been a stressful search.
Well, absolutely. And again, the focus of the investigation that Thursday when she went missing, of course, the focus was to get Carlee home. That's what we want all. We wanted her safe and sound. And that's all happened. And then, of course, this has gotten to be not only a local state story, but a national story. So, it is. It's a lot of stress on everyone in the Hoover Police Department, and the mayor, to every citizen here. We want to know the truth. I wouldn't say I'm frustrated. I mean, I'm very happy that Carlee's home. That was the main ingredient here, and then we'll figure it out. I promise you that we'll end up figuring it out.
Any idea about the number of manpower hours or the expense and all the rest of the searches that might cost the city and the state and the federal government?
Yeah, we haven't had time to consider that, but it's again, these detectives that are here. This is just a small group of people that have been associated with this case. We have put every available resource that we have on this case because we wanted to make sure that we found out everything. We wanted to get her home, and we have. Not that I'm aware of.
Could you just expand on the people from the state, federal resources brought in? What were they doing exactly as you all were searching for the
Sure. A lot of the from the FBI side, several agents helping us interview. I mean, as you well know, in a case like this, especially when it goes national, we got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of calls. And when you get those calls, some of them may just be outlandish, but you got to follow up on them because you never know that you may get that one tidbit. And I'd also say too that we had a great cooperation with the family. The family received hundreds and hundreds of tips, and every time they got a tip, they sent it to us. No, we have not determined that. No.
Question for Chief, with all of the searches that you mentioned, Chief, that were on Carlee's phone, does that kind of give you an indication of her mind state during this ordeal, 48 hours that she went missing?
Well, again, we want to talk in facts, and I do think it's highly unusual to the day that someone gets kidnapped, that 7 hours, 8 hours before that they're searching the internet, Googling the movie Taken about an abduction. I find that very, very strange. Yes.
Do you feel confident, your investigators feel confident that you know why Carlee Russell may have done it?
No, we do not know. Absolutely not.
Chief, can you explain for us? You mentioned that while I believe you said Carlee was on the front line of one, she was traveling 6 football fields, which tells you what?
Which tells me that I've had kids, and I'm sure a lot of people here have, and it's very, very, again, she said it, and I'm not saying it couldn't happen because I've always been one of these guys, never say never, but 6 football fields. I like athletics, I like football. 6 football fields. To think that a toddler, barefoot,
I thought that too,
that could be 3 or 4 years old, is going to travel 6 football fields without getting in the roadway, without crying, without any just moving down. It's just very hard for me to understand.
Chief, have you used any technology to enhance that video from 459? And did you see a man grab her?
We did not see, from what we can tell, we don't see anybody on the interstate other than her car and then someone getting out of her driver's side. We have sent that off to the FBI for enhancement. It has not been returned.
Do you think in this case that charges will be forthcoming towards Carlee Russell? And how serious of a crime is it to not only fabricate a 911 call, but to lie to law enforcement during an investigation?
Well, again, that's not something that we've been discussed since we're going through the still investigation. But people have to understand that when someone says something like this, we put every available resource. Everybody comes together from, like I say, state, local, federal. It's just a lot of work, and the gentleman earlier said frustrated. I mean, it is a little frustrating to think that all this has been done and we can't find anything out.
Did anyone see her calling in from the side of the road when she made that 911 call?
No, not to my knowledge.
All right, last question here.
Is this investigation held up until you can speak once again, Carlee Russell?
Well, there's a few things that we're still doing, but obviously we want to talk to Carlee as soon as we can and do an in-depth interview. And at that time, I think we'll have these investigators doing some other things. So
All right, that's all the questions we're going to answer today. We appreciate you guys coming, and we'll be following up with y'all later. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, Chief.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Breaking news on WFLA Now. Here's
Well, dang, that's interesting. So she said that she was taken and the lady was feeding her cheese crackers and playing with her hair. And she had money in her sock. It's them searches, y'all. Them searches will get you. If you're going to search anything, they even pulled the search stuff from her work computer. You can't even use that. And somebody mentioned the library. You can't even do the library because if they check your library card, done for. You have to borrow somebody's library card. Push them under the bus. That's interesting. So she, this is going to get bad, y'all. This is going to get, this is almost Cash Baby level. Cash Baby belly. Almost. So there are rumors. Okay, but see, look, even if you use somebody else's phone, remember the case about the one guy who was the former pro hockey player and he murdered his wife, and he was playing poker with the guys, and there was a home invasion and somebody went and whatever, but it turns out it was the guy that he worked with, and he had paid him to go kill his wife, and he didn't want to call, while he was playing poker. So he borrowed the guy whose house he was at. He borrowed his wife's phone. He was like, "Oh, my phone's dead. Do you mind if I make a call real quick?" And when they were interviewing people, they asked questions or whatever, and something happened to make that snap into her head, and she told him, and they pulled it up, and it was, sure enough, the phone number was of her assistant, who they then looked into, and it all pulled together. You can't even use your friend's phone. Phones are like the number one thing that get people convicted. I just made that statistic up, just so you know. But it sounds like it should be a good statistic. Let's see. So, the tzatziki sounds really good right now. Have y'all had tzatziki's? And she left the tzatziki's in the car and took the Cheez-Its. Who would leave the tzatziki's and take the Cheez-Its? None of this makes sense. She needs a lawyer now. Yes. What was the toilet paper for? She stole toilet paper and a robe from the spa she works at. You can get burner phones, but if you get burner phones, You have to buy them from somewhere that doesn't have security footage, and you need to pay cash. And you cannot hook it up to your internet because it will connect to your IP. I watch too much stuff, don't I? I do too much. Oh, this is also a good idea. Just don't commit crimes. Just don't. Just mark that off the list. Things to do. New merch idea. Phone searches will get you every time. Phone will get you. The phone will get you. Let's see. Yeah, she left the toilet paper, right? Why did she take the toilet paper? She's going to leave it. Maybe she forgot. Tzatziki is a Greek sauce, and it is also a restaurant that has, it's like a quick made Greek type food, and it's really good. Let's see. Better call David. Maybe not Stu. Maybe Stu needs a mental health break, but call David. Let's see. Yeah, there are some burner phones that you do have to give information for. There's so technology. You know, this is why they had so many more like serial killers and stuff in the, you know, like 40, God, how long is, every time I think 70s, I want to say like 30 years ago, but it's not 30 years anymore. It's like 40, 50 years ago. But I always think about that. But see, you know, they didn't have all the ways back then to catch everybody. I don't, let's look. Let's investigate. All right. There were a few stories that I had read about what all was going on with her at the time. Let's see. Police share new details. Okay, let's see. This is the part they just went over. It's when she returned home. See, this is Carlee has given detectives her statement, and hopefully they are pursuing her abductor. You know, you can't just leave the phone at home, though, because nowadays, if you leave the phone at home and there's a period where there's no activity on your phone, then that is just as suspicious as if you had it with you. I'm telling you, these phones, you got to turn off your location. You got to turn off all these things. Actually, but mine's the opposite. I have my location on and I have all that stuff because I'm like, look, if I go missing, first of all, I would annoy the pants off anybody who, why would they want to take me anywhere? I'd be like, I'm going to do a podcast on you. We're going to find you. But also, I have my location and all of that stuff on. So I have like a whole thing for people with like all my passwords and everything. So that I have a missing folder. So if I go missing, then you can get into my folder to get my stuff and look. But there's only like one person. There's one person who I trusted with my passwords, and she knows where my folder is. So if I go missing, she can get into all my stuff. All right, so let's see. Look at us all now planning crimes. This is not what this channel's about, y'all. Okay. Said she definitely fought for her life. There were moments when she physically had to fight for her life, and there were moments when she had to mentally fight for her life. Let's see. So All right, so here's the stuff leading up to it. On Thursday around 8:20, she left her job at a business in Birmingham. That's the spa. And went to pick up food before driving south on 459. After picking up her order, she stopped at Target and got some snacks. Got to get the snacks. Then she called 911 at 9:30. She called her sister-in-law. Okay, so Russell was on the phone. Carlee was on the phone with her sister-in-law, who could hear her asking someone if they were okay. Oh, this is her mother. Oh no, her mother told them that she was on the phone with her sister-in-law. Okay, so her mama said she was on the phone with her sister-in-law, and her sister-in-law could hear her asking someone if they were okay. There was no audible response. And then the sister-in-law heard Carlee scream. And then, of course, they got the video footage. Let's see. And when she got home, she walked up and banged on the door, and that was it. Police said they obtained surveillance video from her neighborhood that shows her walking down the sidewalk alone before she got to her home. Fire department radio traffic revealed that medics were dispatched to her home on a call about, okay, we got this part. All right, so where's the thing about, let's see if we can find it. I want to see the stuff about, let's look at the Red Roof Inn. All right, TMZ. Oh, this is the one where the boyfriend said she was kidnapped. Okay, so heard of this earlier. Her boyfriend is explicitly stating what most everyone has assumed about her disappearance, declaring definitely that she was indeed kidnapped. Let's see, he made the claim in a Facebook post Sunday in which he both thanked supporters for their ongoing prayers and offered more insight into what he says happened to his significant other since she vanished Thursday. After pulling over on 59, whatever. So he said, I don't even know how to start. I can't read. I don't even know how to start off this post, but to only say thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for saving my girlfriend's life. Also, thank you to everyone who shared a picture, came out to the Hoover Met to help us with search parties, and who went and proceeded to tell other people about Carlee to bring more awareness to her story. I've been going nonstop since I received the call that she was missing on Thursday. I know she would have done the same for me, so I wasn't going to give up until I saw her face again. I was straight tunnel vision, even when I would get on social media on my downtime and see some of the false allegations and assumptions about me having something to do with her abduction would have me discouraged at times. I didn't give up and I kept my faith. I just want to thank all of my family, friends, former teammates, and church members who called or texted me just to let me know that they're praying and here for me. You guys don't know how much that meant to me. All I ask from everyone right now is to be respectful of Carlee's situation. She was literally fighting for her life for 48 hours and getting fed cheese crackers and her hair played with. That would be, look, if an abductor did that to me, I'd be freaked out. So until she's physically and mentally stable again, she is not able to give any updates or whereabouts on her kidnapper. She's not able to give any whereabouts on her kidnapper. At this very moment, I want to thank the people on social media who have been understanding, respectful about what she's going through these past few days. Once again, I can't thank you guys enough. So Well, alrighty. That's that's you know, that's one thing. Let's just go to his. That's the most recent thing he's posted. All right, let's see what else this article says. Carlee's mother echoed similar sentiments. They were overjoyed to have her back. Just as we made a commitment to not entertain negative thoughts during this time that our daughter was missing, we surely will not entertain negative thoughts, statements, unvalidated opinions, or sheer ignorance at such a joyous time. Okay, so here's the Red Roof Inn. For example, the police's statement about how exactly Carlee came to be found, in which they said they got a call that she had shown up at her residence on foot, fails to mention the fact that dispatchers in the Hoover Vestavia Hills area were talking about Carlee possibly being at a nearby motel well beforehand, a convo captured around 6:53 p.m. Okay, so this is the Red Roof Inn thing. How far? It is rare. It is rare. Hey, where you been? It is rare. How far is the Red Roof Inn from the house she was at? As you can hear, the dispatchers describe a caller saying Carlee's family had reached out to say that they had gotten a call from Carlee herself, who apparently told them she was at the Red Roof Inn along the Montgomery Highway, only 5 miles north from where she disappeared. The wording's a little confusing, but it seems the caller was a Red Roof worker. First responders also say the front desk staff said they had no one checked in under Carlee's name. It also sounds like Carlee's family was itching to get to the Red Roof Inn to see if she was actually there. It's unclear if they did or not, but cops certainly responded, as heard in the audio, where somebody gets on the radio to say units have arrived. So I don't know. I think that I don't blame you, Abe. I haven't been able to handle it either. Oh, I haven't been able to handle it either. Oh, and this is why. This is why. That's why. That's why. Nobody cares about discussions. They just want to let's block that. I'm not dealing with any more of that crap. So I remember hearing about the Red Roof Inn stuff, and I remember hearing that her family had talked about possibly, or not that her family talked about, people were talking about her possibly being there, and that her family was going to go look for her, and that police were going over there and all of that stuff. So I don't know. I'll be really curious to find out more as this goes on. See, that's what I'm not sure either. What is her end game? What is her end game? What was the purpose behind it? Yeah, she had it on because she had socks on. Y'all, when he was like in her right, and then there was like this long dramatic pause, and I'm thinking pocket, but then the longer is, I'm like, her right what? Her right what? She had it in her right what? Sock. Oh man, that Rudolph trial. That victim blaming. Yeah, that's why she went home. I don't think she thought this through either. I'm wondering if she like maybe thought that this wasn't going to go as big as it did. Maybe, she thought that if there was, I mean, what can you gain from this? Like, I've seen people that do crap like this for attention. We've seen stories like that, but I thought about this too. I wish she wouldn't have brought a baby into this. However, I will say this: the only perk to come out of her doing this is that that is something that like traffickers and stuff have used. Is like children, toddlers to younger children, whatever. Like they've used animals to lure women into getting getting their attention, getting them to come help. Like, oh my gosh, my my dog over here is hurt, can you please help me? Or here's a child walking and they're like waiting here to snatch you up. So I bringing that up as like part of her story, I think the only good that could come out of that could be the fact that now more people probably realize that that's an actual thing. People really do that. Like that is one of the things that it is extremely related to human trafficking. So if we're going to look for positives out of a terrible story, the positives are that everybody seems like they're safe and good to go, and that it brings awareness to something that, while it is, there's like a 0.02% chance that it actually happened to her based on what they're telling us, it is something that happens commonly. So now more people know about it. So so at least there's a positive. Awareness to tactics to lure others, like empty strollers, car seats, in parking lots, that type thing. That's something that is common. So at least now, people might be more aware of their surroundings if they see something like that. So, but that's the only positive I could really think to really come from it. But, also, did he say 600 yards, 6 football fields? 600 yards is a lot, y'all. Like, a toddler ain't gonna walk 600 yards by the time you see. Six football fields. So 600 yards. A toddler's not gonna walk that far if you're seeing, a toddler on the side of the road. By the time you see a toddler on the side of the road, they've been there for, at least a moment by themselves, and they're not. I mean, that's what are the chances of that? I've heard different things. I see some of y'all saying stuff about the boyfriend. I've heard some of the theories about the boyfriend too. I've heard theories that the boyfriend was involved, and I've heard theories that she did it for attention from the boyfriend. So I'll be curious to see, as of right now, y'all know how I feel about rumors and theories. We could talk about them, but I want to make sure that we clarify that, that they're theories, not evidence. So I'm not So when I say that I've heard these things, these are things that I've heard, you know, theories and rumors, not actual fact stuff. But I've heard the one that she did it in a way to look for attention. I've heard that one more often than the one about boyfriend being involved. But I guess we'll find out more as they continue to. Dang, 63,000. They raised 63,000 for her. Wow. I mean, it's the searches for me, y'all. That's her Twitter is telling. Oh, let's spy. Let's spy. Twitter. She still got it up. She's got it locked now. Is that her? That might not be her. Yeah, taken from her job. Taking things from her job. I don't know which. Why would you bring TP to the Red Roof Inn? Have you ever been to a Red Roof Inn? That's some one ply stuff. That is some one ply TP. That is why you bring your own TP to the Red Roof Inn. That's like sandpaper. You don't want sandpaper up in your bits. You take your own toilet paper to the Red Roof Inn. That is the only part of all of this that makes sense. But then didn't she leave it in the car? I don't know. I can't find it. What is it? What is it? What is it? Look, that's the ladylike way to say it. Y'all, I can't find it. I don't see her Twitter. Y'all know I'm a social media stalker. I will get up on your, you know, I'll get on your social media. I'll get on your mama's social media. I'll get on your cousin's dog walker's ex-girlfriend's social media. I will investigate. Look at there. Terry for the win. All righty. Thank you for the super chat and for the handle. Let's get this going. Let's see what we can find. Okay, let's see what we can find. Oh, I'm missing an E. Missing an E. So, didn't she go missing on the 13th? She said, yeah, I want a family now on the 13th. Someone to tell you I love you and don't got no reason. Today was a great day. God be looking out, I'm telling you. This is the day before. People are such creep. Like, this man stared at me in my car, sitting in my car for 10 minutes. So, I wonder, if it is one of the things that, like the theory that some people had, that it was an attention thing. The day she went missing, one thing she hates is repeating herself, which is probably why she don't want to talk to the police again. Love a man who wants to make my life easier. Trying to complain less and speak positivity over my life. I love my mama so much, man. She retweeted that one. Oh. Her job is really starting to get on her nerves. That's why she took that dang toilet paper. You better believe it. Look, if one of our 13 jurors ever goes missing, I'm going to be streaming on here. I'm going to be looking for you. We're going to have charts. We're going to have graphics. We're going to have maps. I'll find y'all. She talks a lot about wanting a family. Didn't she have a kid? Or is that just me? Oh my gosh, that looks so good. Why does it look like they're sitting on eggs though? Oh, that might be ice cream. Makes more sense. Don't touch my foot. I'll kick you. Let's see. So much pain. I hate being put under anesthesia. She had surgery. Sounds like teeth stuff. I'm thankful I know how to identify when the enemy is coming for me now. Makes life a lot easier. Devil trying to get to me, but God is fighting back for me. You think you have a bond with someone until they show you never did. Oh, maybe this is where that one rumor about how he cheated on her came from. Okay, well, maybe all of this. That looks good too. She's making me hungry. See, she says it again. I want a family now. So I'm sorry, what? Oh, okay. Yeah, it sounds like leading up to it, you think you're close to somebody the whole time they do you worse than your enemies. Think I'm a fool. So maybe she was, struggling with, oh, you saw the, it's always a stripper in Walmart, Can police eventually make her talk with them? Yeah, I mean, they can, they're still, he said that they're still investigating, right? So, if they get enough information, then they can. Yeah, they said, where'd it go? And thank you for the super chat too. I got so focused on your question, I didn't even, I'm sorry, I'm rude. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, there was more money in her side. What did they say? $100 and something, $107. What is that clown that had orange hair? I was thinking it was Krusty, but it's not Krusty. What's the clown with orange hair? Not it. What's the? Is it a clown? What am I thinking of? It's like an old. Stripper in Walmart. John Thomas knows a stripper named Walmart. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? Oh, 160 in her sock. Bozo. Found him. I could not remember the name. Look at y'all, always remembering all the things that I can't remember. Yep. See, look at all y'all. Y'all know. See, y'all help an old lady out because when I can't remember stuff, y'all are right there to back me up. I need y'all like just in my Carrot Top. Oh, it could have been Carrot Top. Let's see. Carrot Top. He's like ripped now. He's like all. I mean, oh bless him. He's got his underparts almost showing right there. Let's see. Sideshow Bob. Could be Sideshow Bob. There are all these options. Like this is the kind of award-winning investigation that solves crimes right here. This is it. This is how they solve crimes. Let's see. Look, I'm gonna go and tell you right now. If anything ever happens and they look up my searches, it's gonna be bad. I ain't even gonna show it in public. Let me see. Isn't there a way I can look at my search history on Chrome? Do I want search history? All right. So Sideshow Bob, Carrot Top, Bozo the Clown, Orange Hair with Bald Spot, Carlee Russell's boyfriend. These are Carlee Russell, Red Roof Inn. These are all the ones that we just did. Let's see. Let's get to the ones before this. These are all still Carlee Russell. This is all the stuff I was looking at before we got started. All right, let's see. OJ tries on the glove. Big trial moments. What kind of poison is it that doesn't show up in a this is why they can never search. What kind of poison is it that does not show up in a toxicology report? The law office of Lisa Pamplin. Let's see, that one's clerk of court's office for business. This is how to work or how to add stuff to Stream Deck. PZ Gambino. This was from yesterday. Man, that last one would. That one would get me. Oh my gosh, y'all! My Urban Dictionary ones are starting now with. This is when I was trying to learn the kid slang these days, when I was getting those text messages, trying to translate them. The stuff I looked up on this one, I was like, this is why I can't show y'all, because some of this stuff is like, I'm like, what the heck is this? Let's see. This area codes. Embassy Suites, Chicago. Melly tour dates. This is when I was putting all of his timeline stuff together. Melly acting weird on live. Yeah, so a lot of it's like, I'll have like a huge chunk of stuff from like one thing, and then it'll be like random, like, you know, how long does it take for a body to start smelling and stuff like that. So this is why they can't ever check my stuff. Here's the thing. If I say it on air and then it happens, no, I'm joking. There was a case I was looking into, and there was a guy who was a man who was locked up for poisoning his wife, and he said that he thought it didn't, whatever it was, he admitted to it eventually and took a plea deal. But when they were talking to him, he said that he didn't think that it would show up on toxicology report. And so, and there are a few things that don't show up on toxicology report, but I couldn't remember what they were. So I was looking because I couldn't remember. And then that's how that happened. But it wasn't a plan as much as it was looking stuff up because I'm a knowledgeable child. Pennywise, that's another one with the orange. Yeah, it could have been Pennywise. All these suspects. It may have been. It may have been. I can't remember. That's true. Look, if anything ever does happen, I'm either totally screwed or I'm in the clear, because they're either going to be like, this heifer is psycho, she needs to go in a padded room, or they're going to be like, she's just doing research. She's a knowledgeable child. Oh, fun times. All right. She did not actually say a clown abducted her. She said somebody with orange hair. And didn't she say orange hair and like in a bald spot? So, and they're feeding her crackers. Drama Brandy doesn't work as well. Oh, knowledgeable one. That's hilarious. I like to look things up. I'm a knowledgeable child. I want to punch that girl in the face. I mean, I want to pray for her. There were a lot of freaky clown sightings a few years back. Like that started getting to be like a real thing. And you remember, why do I relate everything back to a murder? Because this is my life. You remember in Florida, because it's always in Florida or Wisconsin. Like that's where stuff happens. You're either in Florida or you're in Wisconsin. You're very rarely anywhere else when stuff goes wild. Do you remember the clown killer in Florida? Florida's clown case. There was a clown case. Oh yeah. Idaho is giving us a run for our money. So if you remember, or if you've heard of it, if you haven't, Florida's clown killer case finally ends with a plea deal. Okay, so if for those of y'all who haven't heard of this, so this guy was like they live in like a really nice part of Florida. Yeah, they finally did a plea deal. He lived in like a really nice part of Florida, outside of Fort Lauderdale area or whatever. But it's like the neighborhood is like one of those. It's like all like $1 million houses and stuff, right? So, so this is a story. So a clown came to Marlene Warren's door and if you've heard the interview with her son, it's really sad. Her son was like in high school or college or something at the time and had friends over. And she was a good mom. Like she was like, cooking them breakfast and stuff. And, she just a good mom. So in 1990, she was cooking breakfast. The doorbell rings. She goes to the door. It's a clown and she loves clowns. Why people love clowns? To each their own. She loves clowns, has loved clowns her whole life. She has like a whole clown collection of like paintings and like little figurines and stuff like that. Like she loves clowns and carnations are her favorite flower. So she goes to the door and there's a clown there to give her a delivery of carnations, which is, her favorite flower. So of course, for me, I would grab my pistol, but for her, she likes clowns. So she's thinking like, this is a special delivery just for her, whatever. And there was balloons and stuff too. And the clown shot her right there in the doorway in front of her son. And she did not make it. So this is now in front of her. Her son has friends over and stuff. Okay, so, and where's Trey? Is Trey still in here? Trey, this is like your area. Is Trey still in here? Yes. Hey, Trey. Yeah, this is like your area. So, Sheila Keene Warren, pled guilty to second-degree murder in a deal that will likely see her released from prison in no more than 2 years. Long suspected of, this is, oh yeah, the clown. Oh, long suspected of being the shooter. Keene Warren has been jailed awaiting trial for first-degree murder since 2017. Now keep in mind, this happened in 1990. In 2017, Palm Beach County Sheriff's investigators said improvements in DNA technology proved that a hair found in the clown's getaway car came from her. Keen Warren has insisted, however, that she is not the killer. Palm Beach County State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg, who you'll remember his name from the Travis Rudolph trial, of course, said in a statement that the plea deal obtained a measure of justice for Marlene Warren and her son. But here's the thing, like correct me if I'm wrong, those of y'all that remember this, didn't she like her and this was like the mistress or the girlfriend for the husband, for the victim's husband, right? If I remember that right. And that's part of how they ended up finding her. This was nuts. And then I think like they went on, like they had, let's see. That's creepy. That's creepy. Oh, let me take the clowns off. Trey still got the clowns on. She was married to him, but I don't remember if they were married at the time. Maybe they were dating at the time and they got married after. Let's see. They originally wanted to execute her, but now she's going home in 10 months. Oh gosh, I wish I could find the whole thing. But I mean, like they ended up, when they were doing the investigation, this is like, yeah, the second, were they married at the time or did they get married after? I thought they got married after, but I can't remember. Oh, here we go. Oh, I guess I could have read one more paragraph because that would have, been helpful. The couple who authorities say were having an affair at the time of the shooting and while Keen Warren was working at Michael's used car dealership, married in 2002. So there you go. But both have reportedly denied the affair, and Michael was never implicated in Warren's death, according to multiple news outlets. So here's the thing. They talked to the people at the balloons that they had were a specific type of balloon. So they were able to find out that it was that they got it from a Publix, right? And for those of y'all who don't know, like Publix is a grocery store that's like mostly just like in the southern states. And I love me some Publix, y'all. Publix sweet tea, Publix sandwiches. If you're missing out, if you ever come down south, try Publix Deli. So she was the balloons and stuff that she went to go get in like the flower basket, the balloons that she went to go get were from Publix. So they if I remember right, I think they pulled some of that video footage or whatever. They were originally looking for a dude. They thought it was a man. And the son, gave the best, description that he could. But I mean, think about the trauma involved in that. And he's not getting the best look, anyway. I think he even, if I remember right, I think he even like got in the car and tried to, I could be making this up in my mind, but I feel like he got in the car and like was tried to go get in the car, whatever, to follow the clown to, whatever. But anyway, so they were able to track that to track the balloons to Publix. And then because of the clown outfit, they were asking about, oh gosh, Publix chicken, y'all. Why is everything making me hungry? So the whatever it was, like, I mean, this wasn't like, Halloween day or anything. So this is, it's not just like people are walking around in costumes. So they went to the whatever like costume stores they had in the area and asked if, they had seen anybody getting a clown costume. So they had a lady who was in there that remembered. She was like, yeah, I remember there was a woman who came in, and they were like, a woman. And she said, yeah, she got the clown costume. She's like, I thought it was, the thing that stood out to her was that, those big clown shoes that you get, she came and got the clown costume, but she didn't want the shoes, which would make sense if she's trying to get away. So they ended up, investigating and stuff like that. And then the DNA in 2017 from the hair, they were able to trace it to her and arrest her. So I don't even know how we got onto this. Clowns is how we got onto this, but yeah, crazy stuff, right? Crazy stuff. Amber Alert is trending on Twitter because of Carlee's search history. Wow. She asked how old you have to be for it to still be an Amber Alert. Milo's tea is so good. Milo's tea is and Publix tea are very similar. And that means like they'll give you diabetes, but it's worth it. Gone Girl is trending on Twitter. Gosh. Where do you see the... Oh, here's... IRS, Air Force One, Carlee Russell, Gone Girl. Amber Alert. Kirby. Like Kirby Smart. Gone Girl. All of this stuff. Apple Maps. Well, she did a number on everything, huh? Oops. Thought I had shared my screen. So, Amber Alert. National Hot Dog Day. It's all about the food. Interesting. Well, she Googling that. Gone Girl is Gone Girl. Okay, so I read the book before the movie came out, and it was one of those books that I was just like, oh my gosh, like it was so good. Which I like Gillian Flynn anyway. She's one of the authors I enjoy reading. But I read that book and I was like, oh my gosh, now I got to go back and read it again. So good. And then I saw the movie and I was kind of scared to see the movie because anytime I love a book, I'm always scared to see the movie because the movies are never as good. But it was really good. I think the only books or the only movies I've ever liked as much as the book was White Oleander. What else? I don't know. White Oleander is the only one that I can really think of. Yes, she did Sharp Objects too. That's a really good one too. Didn't they make that into a movie or a TV show or something? Oh, did I see it on? What is it on? Is it? Because I read the book. Was it? I remember hearing it was a TV show or a movie or a mini series or something like that. Now, Netflix series. It's always a Netflix series. Alrighty. Okay, so before we wrap things up for today, I'll have to watch it because I loved that. I like Gillian Flynn anyway, but I loved that book. You know what? Whimsical Drew. I read a book. They made a TV series. No, not Game of Thrones. I read them years before. The first scene was so different from the book. I was like, nope, engaged, but off. But I am the same way. I try to be open-minded with the, creative license they use or whatever, but that's really hard for me sometimes because. Wait, there's another live chase right now? Is this a different one?
But you're watching breaking news coverage. We're going to interrupt General Hospital. We're going to continue on this because this suspect is responsible for the injury of at least 3 people. And we've watched as this person has hit a person on the freeway, carjacked or stolen a BMW, stole this van. So as Bruce Thomas has mentioned, this person is a high value arrest now because of the damage this person has caused as a result of trying to get away from authorities.
Right. And those police officers,
Luke and Laura, y'all.
the officers who were injured in that accident in the first part of this pursuit. And again, on your right, the right of your screen, the right area of your screen. You
Where is RA when we need him? This is the second one today.
When he got out of the Dodge Caravan he was driving, the Caravan that was disabled from the spike strip. I'm trying to clarify, are we staying on through General Hospital?
Yes, we are staying. We're telling everyone that right now we have broken into coverage with General Hospital. We will air it in its entirety at a later moment. We'll get the information to you as we can, but we're coming up on the 2 o'clock hour and just wanted to let everybody know the reason we are with this is because of the dangerous nature of this suspect and the impact to the community here as he is traveling on the 101 North. Looks like, I think it was approaching Canaan. So moving along pretty quickly, but this person has really shown some disregard for the safety of anyone.
This is his thing, and he's missed
his
the
actions
second one today.
behind the wheel of a vehicle, and it's been 3 vehicles now.
Right, and I lost count. Was it 3 gas stations that he pulled into?
Well, this one right here was the last.
The last one where he
was one.
tried?
No, this is the one on the right where he was unable to get into that vehicle. He got back into the BMW and then moved to another one. So I think he went to 3 gas stations, maybe 4. Remember, he drove around in that Shell station.
Yes.
Yeah, this is
we were
this is San
wondering-
Fernando Valley.
You asked if he was going to get gas, and that was a perfect look because I thought he was just looking to see where officers were, but apparently he might have been looking for cars at that point. But he was probably running out of gas in the Caravan because at 11:30 is when the accident happened in Burbank. We didn't see this person for 2 hours until at about 1:30 we picked up this chase again. So if he was driving around all that time, it's reasonable to assume that he needed gas in that Dodge Caravan.
And there's still a lot of questions that we don't have answers to. You saw the vehicle a moment ago that was involved in that crash in Burbank. He may have been driving that car. We don't have clarification on that.
Lucy Bowers, you can fill him in later.
He sped away, so maybe it was the Dodge Caravan. But if he was involved in an accident,
let's clarify. In Burbank, the Dodge minivan, they were chasing a Dodge Caravan.
Right.
The Dodge Caravan was not injured or not damaged, but an LAPD officer and a second vehicle were.
Got it.
The Dodge Caravan continued to drive for the next 2 hours. Officers were looking for it, re-engaged at about 1:30. We watched the Dodge Caravan be disabled due to the spike strips, and that's when the suspect jogged into a parking lot, got into a BMW. We think he carjacked. It might have been just grand theft. Then we watched him take that BMW to another location where he got into this van, and we've seen him with this van run into somebody on the freeway at about 70 miles an hour.
That's right. And he continues to drive. Well, now he's at 100 miles an hour, and he is still on the northbound 101.
Okay.
Near the Lindero Canyon
So we've had
Road exit,
one chase at 12
in the
miles an
Hills
hour,
area.
and now we got one at
And
100 miles an hour.
in this van is not not conducive to safe driving.
Well, Bruce, at this point, how now you're starting to me, it's almost as if you can breathe as a law enforcement agent because he stayed on the freeway for a moment. He's driving north up near Agoura Hills. I'm not saying that you're away from everything, but you are starting to get away from maybe some of the heaviest traffic. Do you get a chance now to kind of regroup as law enforcement? Or now they're right behind him, so it's not as if they're stopping the chase, but do you like where this is more than before?
Yeah, very much so. He's now on an isolated area, and I call it isolated, meaning it's not a heavy traffic freeway right now. He's heading out of LA County. He's heading into Agoura Hills, Hidden Hills area. Traffic's less as you head toward the beach communities.
I feel like I get to be RA's understudy
the
today
radio.
with these two.
So there's another CHP station with other officers ahead, and they'll transition into that. So as a supervisor and someone actually in this pursuit, I do take a deep sigh of relief.
Yeah, because there were so many things happening, from the near assault on officers to the potential carjacking or grand theft of two different people.
Recovery addict from his channel, he has
driving into the turn lanes and oncoming traffic on side streets at 100 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour.
Cool.
We've seen Air 7 clocked it at 125 miles an hour at one point. That was on the freeway, however. But it just seems as if the freeways are built for the higher speeds that this person has been willing to drive, as opposed to Tampa, Rinaldi, some of the roads that this person was on. Those roads are not, they're built for 45 to 50. They're not built for 95 to 100.
Did they say?
No, you're
what time did
100%
they say this was
correct, Philip. And the fact that this guy's doing 100 miles an hour, which means you have to do almost 110, 120 just to catch up to the vehicle and stay with the vehicle. That's the other factor in this.
And he's driving on the shoulder at 100 miles an hour.
And Bruce, in your opinion, do you think it was a factor that there was no gas in those previous vehicles, and now that he found a car that we believe is gassed up, this is why he's on the freeway and heading sort of farther out?
I'm going to go with that and say yes. That's an assumption on my part, but I think that's a good call on your part also, bringing that to the attention of the viewers. However, I do think in this vehicle, it doesn't have a full gas tank. As Air 7 HD pulls in on the left side, you can see the gas cap out. So how much gas is in that vehicle? Hopefully the driver was able to tell law enforcement.
Okay.
Well, and now you see, again, he's getting off the freeway at Moore Park Road. So we can see that he's off Moore Park Road, on Moore Park Road, off the Ventura Freeway. Again, the thing that you keep coming back to is he goes across 4 or 5 lanes of traffic with total disregard. You can just see him barely through the trees at that intersection. So it looked as if he was in the right lane, and now it looks as if he's turning left under the freeway. Oh, nope, there he is. You can see him in the on-ramp on the other side, and officers have pinched him in. They have pinched him in.
They have him trapped on either side. Wow.
They're still hitting him.
And
This is an aggressive stance right now.
And you saw that CHP officer actually drive his vehicle into this van.
Bruce,
so they've got him in the front and the back, but
dang.
they're still leaving him room to back up if he wanted to, Bruce.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't. I probably wouldn't pull in real close on this because I don't think it's going to end well. But this is a very, very aggressive tactic by CHP. It's not something that we teach and or sanction. So for them to do this,
he's got his hands up
with this individual.
Yeah, and he is, his arms are out the window. I don't know if you can see that, Bruce. It looks like he's attempting to signal that he wants to surrender.
He's trying to open the door.
His time is done. He realizes this is pointless, and the fact that CHP was very aggressive on this, we're not just following and playing anymore. You're going to jail, buddy.
Yeah, and I think he knows it, and he is following their instructions. He has laid down on the ground, arms wide. It appears that he is cooperating. Thankfully, no one else was hurt.
What's he? Oh,
well, now they'll have to clear that van. Yes.
Yeah, they'll have to clear the van, but that's the lesser of two evils. The biggest thing now is going to be the hours and mountains of paperwork that this guy just generated. And hopefully the officers are not hurt, as are any individuals.
Okay, so we see the handcuffs going on, and Bruce, to your point, there were 1, 2, 3, 4 officers with weapons trained, and I don't see less than lethal weapons trained on this person. It does look to me like they were very serious, that they thought this person posed a risk to other people. It looks like they're going through that jacket to see if he was indeed armed. I did not see them pull any weapons from there. But remember, when he went up to that one vehicle, I saw him reach for his waistband, and it was quite frankly terrifying because it looked as if he might be armed. So that had to play in to what they were doing when they were taking him into custody. They had to think that he might be armed, yes?
Yes. Philip, to just something to point out as we watched them walk the suspect from the van where he laid down on the street, very cavalier attitude, very, oh, okay, you caught me type of thing. Just he doesn't care. He really didn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't care that he puts thousands of people on the road in danger. And that is.
So this is the thing earlier they said that he got into a wreck.
Right.
He's like, okay, you caught me, big deal.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, and this word becomes political, and I don't want to get on a soapbox, but nothing will be done to this individual.
Even though there were multiple grand thefts, it all counts as the same misdemeanor?
Yeah, they'll plea bargain it down to a misdemeanor, maybe credit for time served. We're not going to put anybody in county jail for more than a year or state prison for this. Now, depending on his record, and I'm not sure if the three strikes law even applies anymore.
Well, but remember, he did
I
injure 2
was just
officers.
going to say there was
injured 2 officers.
And you have assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer,
Yeah.
which is an egregious felony. Yes, you're 100% right.
Okay.
So, all right. Bruce Thomas, thanks so much for sharing your expertise. Thank you.
So we're
Appreciate
going
your
to,
time.
since it's just now 2:07, we are going to quickly wrap this up and get you back to General Hospital. This has been breaking news
Get him back
coverage
to General
of a
Hospital.
chase involving a suspect that was also involved in an accident that injured 2 LAPD officers at about 11:30 this afternoon. He took 2 other cars during this chase, but now is in custody. We'll take you back to regular programming.
Get them back to their regularly scheduled. The second channel, Brady Chasewell. I don't do it as good as all right, but I guess where I had looked for that one earlier when I went to exit out of everything, that popped up on my stuff. So I'll have to tell my friend. He'll be proud that I was able to cover these 2 when he wasn't able to. But that's funny. Let's see. It was awesome timing. It was awesome that we got to see like the very end of it, and and see what all happened. That one was a little bit more intense than the 13-mile-an-hour one. So, there's that. But, all right, what time is it? It is 4 o'clock my time, 5 o'clock y'all's time in East Coast. Choose Your Own Adventure Day did not disappoint. It was a lot of fun. Let's end our day. We'll play one more Choose Your Adventure. We can watch one more clip or something that we didn't get to watch today before we wrap things up. Which one clip do you want to see? We got to see the box forts, and we got to see all kinds of stuff. We got to see all kinds of Johnny Depp stuff, all kinds of, we had a lot of variety. That was the fun thing about today. I think that we all, with the heaviness of the Mellie trial and dealing with some of the, with this being such a high profile trial, and dealing with some of the people who are just trying to come in and, argue and stuff, and some of the meanness and all of that, I think, and some of the heaviness, I think that this was like the exact, fun day that we needed. Nothing heavy, all just fun stuff. Tomorrow we will be back regular time, 8:45 Eastern, and they're going to do closing arguments. Tomorrow's the big day. Closing arguments, jury instructions, and then they'll go into verdict watch. So, and then Friday will be in verdict watch. So we might do this again Friday. We might do like a choose your own adventure type thing again on Friday, since we'll be in verdict watch. And I don't think we don't have anything else starting yet Friday. We'll find out Friday about if they have cameras in show business on Friday on that hearing, then we'll watch that one. Otherwise, we'll do another choose your own adventure day, and we'll get to some of the ones that we missed today, because this has been a lot of fun. This is exactly what I needed. You know what? They're not supposed to do sidebars during closings, so we'll see how that goes. We will see how that goes. All right, so let's see. Do y'all have any one clip you want to watch before we go? Anything that we didn't get to watch earlier today that you want to see? Because there were some that are still on the list that we can look at on Friday. But let's see what else we had on there. We had we got my dog stepped on a bee. Dr. Spiegel, let's leave that one for Friday, because that one's longer, right? Because that one's not, or are you wanting just the one clip where, oh gosh, that scared me. Cannon blast outside my window. I mean, that sounds random. There's a boat called Sea Screamer that rides along the coast, and they have this big cannon, and so they'll park in front of different condos and stuff, about, when they come through or whatever, then they'll do this thing where they fire a big cannon, and when they're out there and they fire right in front of here, it always scares me. So it's not just like random cannon blasts, but it's like an actual boat. Anyway, yeah. Out of context, I guess that sounds really weird, but it's a boat that goes along the coast. So, I know which one we'll do before. I know which one we'll do. We'll end on this one. This one, I don't think was in the actual trial. I think it was. Oh yeah, here it is. Is this it?
In the closing argument.
All right. All right, we're going to end on this one.
The DEP lawyer called your testimony the performance of a lifetime, and said you were acting. What do you say to that?
Says the lawyer for the man who convinced the world he had scissors for fingers. I'm the performer. I had listened to weeks of testimony insinuating that, or saying quite directly that, I'm a terrible actress.
She is a terrible actress.
I'm a bit confused how I could be both.
You want Don Juan de Marco, the world's greatest lover. to talk to you.
Oh my gosh, y'all. I watched that interview live, and when she said that, and she was so serious, and she said, from the man who convinced the world he had scissors for fingers. Like, it was so, I was like, she does know that was a movie, right? Like, she knows that, like, we don't all actually believe he has, oh gosh. Lord bless that lady. Bless her heart. I think that is a good note to end on, because how do you top that for the day? Y'all, I've had so much fun with y'all today. This has been the absolute best day that we've had on stream in a while. It has been Edward Scissorhands is an excellent documentary. It's all about Johnny Depp. It's a documentary about Johnny Depp and his scissor fingers. Oh gosh. Oh man. Y'all are my favorites. All right, y'all. I've had so much fun with y'all today. Thank you so much. We will do this again on Friday. So be thinking of any of the other clips. We'll watch some other stuff too, or whatever. We can look at some other stuff, but this was too much fun to not do it one more time before we jump into the next trial. So I appreciate it. If you could hit the like button on your way out, and we have, today's Wednesday, right? So we have night court tonight. If you have not checked us out with night court is kind of a fun vibe like this when we're doing the Jodi Arias trial at night, and JT, my partner in true crime, is hosting, and he does a fantastic job. Also, if you haven't checked out his sidebar video written by our very own Shireen and published with JT, it is fantastic. It's on the channel as well. So we have night court tonight at 8:45, 7:45 Central, and then we have we're finally wrapping up Melly and putting it behind us. Tomorrow's closing arguments. So we'll be back tomorrow morning at 8:45 Eastern, 7:45 Central. So that's all I got. I appreciate y'all reporting for jury duty, and I will see you in the morning.